It is indeed a Monday and my model is not working for some reasons. This is great. Hi, hello, and welcome to the library. We are in the peak of the heatwave right now in France. This is particularly unbearable with extreme temperatures on the western part of the country. So I hope that you're doing all right. And if you are touched by the heat wave, please take care of yourself. Don't try to walk. Drink a lot. It's important. Yeah, I don't know. I think like there has been a lot of southern flux for the past month and a half, I guess. And it just doesn't want to go away. We're still waiting for some sort of depression to go a bit north on the Atlantic, and perhaps we'll have some relief a bit later this week. We'll surely have some relief. The question is like how much of a relief it will be. I mean water, yes, I do mean water. It doesn't work if you, I mean, probably you can drink something else, but I think water is just the safest bet, sorry. Not cold water. It's good to have like warm water, or just mild water, room temperature water. I mean, room temperature is quite hot right now, but yeah, drink a lot. Remember to eat a little bit and do not push yourself with physical activities. And that's why I did nothing today. I literally did nothing because I was not able to, I don't know, activate my brain in general. I mean, when I say that I did nothing, it's like I only done half my Japanese. I did just a little bit of research, but I need to go back to it like tonight. I tried to do some piano and it was like, it was so funny because I felt so unfocused that I felt I couldn't control my hands and I couldn't focus like on the right keys. And I kept like shifting everything to the left by a little bit. And I had like to overcorrect a lot and it didn't really work. So very funny. There are things I want to do before tomorrow. This weekend I wanted to write the guide. Well, do the raiding guide for M8 as part 2. I was not able to do that and I want to do that before we raid tomorrow. So either tonight or tomorrow, I don't know. But tomorrow we'll have like it's still like very harsh heat wave. Like it's 37, 38 right now. And we are not expecting a drop in temperature until Thursday. And hopefully in Thursday it will be like good enough. I mean, Sigistrats doesn't work for pack 2. Don't work for part 2, unfortunately. We need like something pretty clear there, because there's a lot of like team coordination, but I don't know. It will not be like a good week for me, raiding. Like 2 of the days I'm raiding with like, I don't know, we're raiding at 8. Probably it will be like 34 by the time we're raiding. Hello, Alien, thank you for the redeem. For the hydration check, you should drink as well. But yeah, thank you. Today will be like a short-ish session. There are things that I want to do on Dragon Quest, It shouldn't take too long, and we'll just see how much we do progress. To be fair, we're kind of nearing the end of the Orbs quest, and we will be entering the end game soon TM. And after that, I do believe that it should be straightforward towards the end. Not that the end is, very, very near, but like we should be able, especially if during one of the week we do some push with like 2 streams, we should like finish the game, in I don't know, in 3 weeks, I think. Rhubarb juice and cold brew ready to go. It's good. I made also some tea infusion, cold infusion, and I think this is great, especially during this period and with this weather. Also, because I was doing that this weekend, since we're talking about like stream stuff, I did some research again on like Moomin, and I'll have to make a post about it on the server at some point. It won't be next week, but it will be like the week after. In 2 weeks, we'll do like our Moomin in Japan presentation, I think. Just because next week I want to push a bit on Trials of Innocence and do like 2 streams of it, and it will probably be a break of Dragon Quest also next week. And so the week after we'll have time to put like Moomin. So it will be great. I'm doing like a lot of research lately, which is like nice because it's something that I really like. So I found like a documentary on rivers, a Japanese documentary on rivers that I wanted to watch for quite some time, and it has been put by like, I don't know, I think it was like a South American person like 1 year ago. No subtitles, just send the entire documentary on YouTube, and it was like very interesting. So I'll need to watch that like again, and I'll be able to like work on the script a bit more for like the video that will be released in September, something like that. So pretty interesting program. I have also some crazy ideas for next, school year in September. I kind of want to do a series. I've said like a few months ago, I think, or 1 month ago, that I wanted to focus a little bit more on like educational content. And I was thinking that it's fun to do like, very specific like presentation on like moving in Japan on very, niche topics. But I also wanted to make like a series. And that was kind of the point of like this Sumida River, research. I wanted to, do several spotlights so we could, over the course of like, several presentations, get a better idea of what I'm doing and what I want to showcase to the public. The problem is that my presentation on the Sumida River, my research on the Sumida River is very specific, and I find it hard to, let's say, introduce that to people just because it's so much work. It's still, the work is still ongoing, and I don't really have like a holistic approach to talk about it. But I still want to like talk about a series, and I think that will be like the running thing on stream between, let's say, September and March. And every 2 weeks, we go back to this format of like doing a presentation, an educational stream, but it will be like every time like on it will fit the theme of like the season. So basically, I want to talk about like food. I think we have been talking about food a lot on this channel because it seems to be like kind of like a shared interest from like me and you. And I think we can go like a little bit further and have like a regular series where we talk about food. And I can present like some ideas with some examples in a format that is a bit more, I don't know, precise, accurate, in depth in some sense. So every 2 weeks, starting from September, but probably October, since I kind of want to wait for my new model, we will explore food in Japan, probably gourmet culture, but like very, you know, a lot of interesting things I have like in my head about food in Japan. It can be about like agriculture and production. It can be about modern gourmet culture. It can be about, I don't know, peripheral specialties, how it relates to memory, to identity. It can be how Japanese food is getting exported throughout the world, what we think about when we think of Japanese food. So many different topics, and I think like I have enough materials to do like a series of perhaps like 12 lectures or something like that. And the goal is for me to, because my research here is very cursory for now, so my goal would be like to get a first taste, joke intended, of like this topic like in a more holistic version. And so when I'll come back to it at some point, I already have like a skeleton. I can really go in depth. And yeah, I think it could be interesting. And maybe next year we'll have like some sort of like cooking streams, but I really need like a better setup for that. So that we'll have to wait until, you know, we have the proper conditions to do so. So that's it like for stream stuff. This weekend I did also like a lot of different things, so a lot of people, whatever. I also thought it would be good to make a push with some video games that I left behind for quite some times. So I finished like a lot of games that we did on stream, not like, you know, we kind of did the main story and there was some like side content that was left. So I finished like Ace or Nerai, the tennis game. I finished the campaign. There's nothing really to say about that. Like the last match was interesting because the computer was very, very aggressive, and so I had like to shift my strategy a little bit. Like it forces you to play a bit more like a baseliner, a bit more defensively, because the AI is very much like an aggressive baseliner. So very interesting. I finished Layton. There was like a few puzzles that I didn't do and the extra puzzle, so I finished that. It was like pretty straightforward. I finished the first act of Clair Obscur and it was good. I think it was good. The twist was kind of like obvious just because there was like so many hints about this, namely like the name of the act. And yeah, it really reminded me of like the scene at the end of Act 1 really reminded me of some of the climaxes of FF14. It really made me think of Heavensward and Shadowbringers. I won't tell like the exact scenes, but it was like pretty funny, very also reminiscent of like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think it works. The twist works to some extent. The transition to Act 2 is a bit weird, but also I've not really started Act 2, so I can't really say much. But oh yeah, this is like a good game. And the English dub is incredible. This is like madness, such a good dub. And you can see that it is like supported by very good directing. So very good, very nice. And I started to play with my best friend. I started to play Hokkaido Renzu Kusashi Shinjiken, so the Hokkaido serial murder case, the remake of the second Yujihori mystery game that was released last year. Very interesting. I made like a post on Blue Sky about that, with like the map. When you open the map, like you have this sort of like open maps, thingy, like aesthetics with like little landmarks. And for each landmark, you have like an explanation, one that is like relating to what this area is for the game, and also some sort of like trivia about this area, like very specific trivia about like, because a lot of the action is set near lakes. So you have a lot of information about fishing, about Hokkaido culture, about how the cities have developed in the last decade. And it was like very, very good. I really, really, really want to make a game like this. Just because I think this is one of the best thing that come from ADV games. You have been playing Magic the Gathering Arena all weekend, so she is back in her new obsession, her new addiction. But yeah, Magic is fine. Magic is fun. Arena is good. The question is like, will you get trapped into spending like money into Magic? Like, you shouldn't spend money on like the online versions, but you could spend some money like in real life if you want to make like a deck or something. It's just that it's kind of like an addiction to the point where like you're, oh yeah, I can make like a deck for, not too expensive, and then you start to get really into it, and then you're cooked. And that's how like you put hundreds of euros, whatever, into the game. If it's for collection purpose, I think it's okay, especially if you buy them individually. But also like, it's the thing, right? You would buy like some cards individually if you're trying to make like a functional deck. And it's like this weird situation where if you play Magic seriously, quote unquote, it will like, I think the decks are between maybe like 200 and 600 like euros probably. But if it's just like for the collection, like certain cards, you just like the art and stuff, I think it's good. At least you have like the thing in a physical form. It's very similar to buying like Pokemon or whatever other cards, so I think it's fine. It's just like, yeah, when you play Magic, playing Magic is like the trap, I think. But yeah, I had a phase where I considered getting back into Magic, and I was like, no, I just like reading the cards. I just like the lore of the cards, being able to think about the universe and stuff. But I don't really want to play anymore. This is just not for me anymore. But yeah, that's basically what I did these past few days, which, to be fair, is pretty good considering the heat. Like, the heat wave has been really hard. It's so hard to do anything. Going outside is just impossible. By this temperature, I think like it is a mistake to go outside. Right now, there's still I think a few people that have like school. You should not go to school right now. It's too hot for that, like in France. Just skip school. Nobody cares at this point. You don't want to be like with 36 people in the same room by like 38 degrees. And it's like, you know, some places in France are even higher than that. Some places in France are like 41 right now. You don't want to be in a classroom that is not air conditioned. Just stay at home. And well, so I was still able to do things. I also continued reading like Detective Conan, and this is very good because like the case I'm in is in volume 3. The first case of like volume 3 is like the luxury liner murder case, the Hatemoto family murder case, and I think it's like the first one that is strong, like really strong. To be fair, I cannot remember the culprit, but the cluing is good. The cluing is like really good, and it's really fun to see that, oh yeah, I'm like sharper than I was like, you know, 10 years ago, or, you know, 13 years ago when I started reading Detective Conan. And I'm able to, you know, really think fast. Like obviously I've read those cases like before, but it has been such a long time that I just can't remember much of it. So yeah, Detective Conan, very, very good. Like the art style is really good. It's very good to learn Japanese because you have a lot of text on every page, and the case is genuinely strong. If the temperature is higher than the amount of people present, go home. I mean, the problem like is I don't know what is the situation in you know, Nordic countries, but like back in my days, you had like 32 people. Like you had like 30 people on average, 30 students in a classroom. Nowadays, I think the average is like 35, which is crazy because I think for me, a classroom, like a full class, shouldn't be more than probably like 25 people maximum. Like the best context to learn is when you're like in half class and, you know, there's only like 15 people or less. I think like the ideal classroom would be like 20 people, I think. I live in a small town, so I'm not the right person to comment on this. This is like crazy nowadays. Like I know that like in my former high school, right now, they don't have enough tables to like sit all the students in a classroom. So every time they have like to, you know, knock next door to like take some tables and some chairs. This is like crazy. You cannot learn in such like a big setting. Depending on the type of class and how much participation is needed from students, yeah, 15-ish is I usually think is best. I do agree. And hi, Kelly, it's very, very nice to see you here. I hope that you're still doing good, that class is, you know, not too bad, and that it's almost over. My high school started at like 25 and graduated at like 15. This is madness. Like for me, this is madness because half a class would be like 15 for me. And I do think that like half a class should be like maximum 12. Which is like, obviously Calais is very right talking about like, you know, the amount of participation and stuff. I am like, the more people you have in a class, the more you have to dilute the level of participation from each student. And that can be fine, like in some classes that are like, you know, math class, something like that. But especially for like language, I think this is like impossible. I did like some Japanese class at some point. I left because it just didn't work for me. It was like too slow for me. But I was in a class where we were, I think, 8 people, 7 or 8 people, I can't remember exactly. That's for me like the ideal number of people in a language class. You have enough people so that they can talk to each other, but at the same time, the number is so low that everybody is like forced to participate. You cannot like hide behind like the others. But like having 8 people nowadays in a class, impossible, literally impossible. Just this week left, thanks. Can't stay too late, but after this week, I'll be able to stay for streams a lot more. I mean, the important thing is like to take care of yourself, right? I think like, I think you have been working a lot, and I hope that also like your personal projects are doing good. We haven't been able to catch up in quite a long time, just because I was also very busy. But we should catch up at some time. I'll make sure to pop in Sage server at some point. No, more chaos. Yeah, I have like chaotic people in my chat. This is like so weird. Normally it's like the chat resembleth the streamer and vice versa, but I don't know why my chat is so chaotic when I do not think I'm chaotic. It feels like I don't know. We are, working on a very adverse relationship to some extent. I like that. Summer camp is always very busy at my job, but it's okay. It's always temporary. It's interesting because like summer camp was basically like the last 2 months, like on like May and June. This is like pretty early, but also like not that early. This is like the Asian style, to be fair, which is based. I think you should be able to graduate when you see cherry blossoms, probably. Very wheat peeled. Because I feel like, especially nowadays, like in France, the school vacation, it's in like July and August. But during those months, you're basically dead. It's too hot. It's just too hot. There's nothing you can do. But if you're like a student at a university, then probably your summer vacation will start on... It can start even in April, April to October. And because you have like this April, June window, this is like a very good window to, enjoy the spring and just be able to do things without dying from heat. Just June. There are some stuff in July, but won't be as overdone as it was. I see. Well, I wanted to say it's almost summer, but it's summer. I'm literally dying of the heat wave right now. Yeah, I really enjoy Springs +2. Mechanis Sigi, maybe the new character, for one of the games we'll do after Dragon Quest. I still am not sure about the crazy RPG I want to rope you into. I was thinking maybe there will be the release of Trails in the Sky the first, so the remake of like the first Trails of. And I was thinking that maybe it would be interesting to do that on the stream. I think it releases on September, so why not? I'm just a bit sad that the remake is very like modern anime aesthetic, kind of like moe. And it lost the charm of like the original art design, but like whatever. We'll see. We have like many things to do, and if we do like a weird pivot to educational content, I need to check how we handle things. I feel like such a wimp. I'm cooking inside right now, but it's only 23. I wish it's 23. I don't think, like the temperature will like fall, but it will fall to like 28. I wish it was 23 right now. Again, right now where I live, it's like 37. 37. Like during the nights, we are lucky if like the temperatures are going below 28 during the nights. So you're in a position where, because like the building is retaining so much heat during the day, you cannot even open the windows at night because it's literally the same temperature. So there's no purpose in like opening the windows. And there's this thing where when the sun is like, this is kind of like one of the good things where I live. One of the bad thing is that there's like very little like light coming into my house. But in summer, this is very good because you get less heat. But during summer, you're basically forced to live like with like the curtains closed for the entire summer because you do not want the heat to come inside. And this is kind of depressing, living in the dark during summer. It's been around like 35, 40 all months, and July and August are worse. At least we get the monsoon rains to help. But it's like, it's wet at the same time, it's humid at the same time, so this is cooked. I mean, obviously, like temperatures and like resilience to temperatures, this is like very personal because you're used to living in situations like this. But I think this year has been like really crazy. I feel like I'm doing better than previous years, but also because like I'm used to it since it has been like very harsh for the past 3 years, basically, 3-4 years. But even if I'm doing like relatively better by habit, it's still like the worst year I think ever right now. And it's just, we are not even in July. We are not even in July. Or maybe you are now, Cali, but yeah, I don't know. I guess because I live on a hill by the sea, it's quite cooler than my surrounding as well. I mean, there's this thing also like, you can, like, why do we have like such a massive, and I'll finish like yapping on this topic and we should try to play a little bit, but why do we have like such a massive heat wave in Western Europe right now? And I think there were several factors into that. So welcome to like the weather pattern yapping moment of the stream. So you know that like temperature is basically a game of pressure, you know? You have areas with like low pressure and areas with high pressure, and this differential in pressure will cause like winds to go from one location to another. And this is like this particular wind flow, what we call like a flux or flow, that will carry, let's say, freshness or heat with it. And when you're like looking at temperature and weather patterns, you do want to consider like what type of flux will come to your area and in what direction it will come. So for example, like I live in France and we have like flux from all directions. We have like northern or northwest flux, which is mostly like something that will be like a bit on the cool side, probably will be raining. You have like a polar flux, which is like dead north, and this will be like very, you know, cold temperatures. You have something in the, you can have like a western or continental flux coming from Central Europe, and this one, it's tricky. It can behave in different ways depending on like other factors. You have like the western flux, which is kind of like also on the cooler side, and when it comes from like southwest or south, it will be like hot flux, and you will get like a lot of repeated, you know, heat waves because it's carrying like a heat from tropical areas and also from the Sahara. And right now we are in a situation where Western Europe has been hit a lot by like this southern flux. And unfortunately, like the high pressure zones in the Atlantic or dying a bit too much like in the south, and it's not creating a shield that can help currents from like northwest to come. So basically what I mean is that we are getting like wind from the Sahara again and again and again, and nothing like from the north. It's basically, it cannot like enter Western Europe. And normally like in 3 days, we'll see like a change in pattern. And this will like help us cool a little bit because we'll have like something coming from the west. And this is like, what is very important to understand is that those like flux, and especially like Atlantic flux that are like very important for like temperature control, regulation, they are based on oceanic flux. So basically, you probably know that there is like a cycle in the Atlantic where you have like cool water from the Atlantic coming to Western Europe to bring some cool, and it will make a cycle, you know, like within the Atlantic, where temperature are regulating themselves with this movement. And the temperature of water will obviously like affect the temperature of what is above the water, and that's where you have like weather patterns. And this cycle is a very, very fragile balance. And the thing is, right now we are in a situation where this Atlantic cycle is kind of like crumbling a little bit. It won't disappear. People are talking about like the tipping point of like the Atlantic cycle, meaning the point where this entire thingy like movement will collapse. And if it does, it will be like very harsh, because the Atlantic cycle is what gives like warmth to Europe to some extent. And if we don't have that anymore, it means that we'll have like incredibly cold weather. So right now, the cycle is struggling because we have like ice from the poles that have been, you know, melting. It's making like the level of water rise. It's making weird things with fresh water, whatever. It's like deregulating the cycle. And this has like weird effects on weather patterns, and that's why like things are more unpredictable. And we see like more heat waves. But there will be one point, maybe because like of climate change, where the Atlantic cycle will entirely collapse, you know, in, I don't know, 1,000 years maybe. And at this point, Europe will be basically like frozen because we won't get like any warmth from this Atlantic current. And it means that, for example, like in London, it will be like, during winter, it will be like minus 20 degrees, minus 20 Celsius degrees. Like for northern countries, you will basically be at like minus 48 every winter. Like this is like, it will be basically like a collapse of the entire climate worldwide if we don't have like this Atlantic cycle. It will probably not collapse. This is very unlikely, but at least on the short term. But we see signs of like, you know, weakening, and it already has like some actual consequences, which is like the situation that we're living right now. Britain is at the same latitude as southern Alaska. Without the Atlantic current, most of Europe is basically Canada, exactly. Because the way the current like is working is that we get like some heat also from Brazil. So it's like, it will be like an entire collapse of climate. And it's a situation where like most of the crop industry, the agricultural industry in Europe would collapse immediately, because you don't have like the time to make a transition, probably. And it's like, yeah, we cannot make anything, you know, grow anymore, and we have like to completely reinvent the agricultural economy. And this is like a situation, I think, that is quite extreme, and it will probably not happen, so it's not too much of an issue if you don't think about it. But we see a situation right now where we are in the middle of heat waves. In the past 20 years, we have lost approximately like 15% of water that is stocked, within the border of a country, like in lakes, in the soil, whatever. We have just less water in general. And people are doing nothing. Like our politics are fully unrelated to the situation we're facing right now. And this is like problematic because, I don't know, the weather is changing faster than like the actions that we're, undergoing to handle weather changes. So yeah, I don't know, we are cooked. 2, geology peeled. I mean, this is obviously like a very different, topic of studies. Like you're on a longer time period with geology. And unfortunately, like last time I had like geology was in high school, so there's not much I can yap about that because it's not a topic I encountered again after leaving high school, unfortunately. Which is kind of like the situation right now where I feel that I've been in high school. Some of the things are kind of like disappearing from my mind. Like I'm less flexible. There are certain concepts that my cat is touching the mic and it's making my model crash. I hate it. Like math, especially math. I had like a realization, I think, 2 days ago that, oh wait, I think that my calculus skills are crumbling, like seriously. And I was so yeah, because she doesn't want to sleep right now. I don't know why. Like it's so hot. She's basically sleeping the entire day, but not during stream. So I don't know what to say. I also feel that she's not drinking enough, but I don't know. She's not dehydrated right now, so probably it will be all right. Don't touch the cable, please. Did she? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, so I had like this dread about, oh no, I'm losing my math skills, and I was like, I should try again. Open like a real analysis book. Open like a book about linear algebra and do some things there, because you can't. It would be sad to lose this ability to do math. Jay, hello. I hope that you're doing all right. It's very nice to see you here. The math skills, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I did math after, even if I was like mostly in humanities and social science, I did math after high school, just because it was like in my curriculum back then. Like we were like literature peeled curriculum, but we had like, I think 6 hours of math every week. Very funny. But so I did that, and I think most of those like college skills are kind of crumbling. I don't remember how to do like, I don't know. There are some things in linear algebra that I cannot do anymore, I think. It's just that, oh yeah, I have like this understanding again of like the basics. I remember those things, but I just can't do like exercises anymore. And is it boring? Not exactly, right? Because my job today doesn't require me to use like linear algebra, but I still feel like bad to lose those skills. I don't know. Anyway, what are we talking about? I don't know. I don't know. But also like, keeping skills like up to date, it requires like constant effort. Even for things that you know, you still need this time for like upkeeping. And this is like really hard. This is like really, really, really hard. And I think like I spend like so much time on Japanese, on research and whatever. And being like, oh, I should do like, 3 hours of math every week, of like college level math. Am I ready for that? I don't think so. There was like a time, I don't know if you know, there was a lot of ad for it. For maybe Brilliant, right? The website where you could do like some sort of like science or math exercises or whatever. And Brilliant was really good back then because you had like a community section where people would just post questions, exercises, and puzzles, and you could just tackle them, and you could like enter like the solution just to check if you were right or not. And that was like really good, but at some point, Brilliant became kind of like, I don't know, they wanted to become Duolingo, so they were like, we don't care anymore about like the demographics of advanced people. We only want to cater to beginners, and they literally like deleted the community tab. And so we lost all the access to those like very interesting puzzles, and this is very sad. And I'm trying to check if there's like some site for that, but not really, to be honest. Not to that extent. Like the art of problem solving, you don't have like this reactivity of, oh, I can just test if my solution is correct or not. Doing my worded every day is hard. Yeah, I don't know. My routine is a bit like, I have a bit of a crazy routine, but it's like, I'm happy I'm not in the academia anymore, that I'm not like in college anymore, but I cannot imagine a life where I'm not like studying. It's a non-native speaker debuff for Wordle. I was trying to do like some crosswords in English. It's hard. It's really hard. Like especially, UK British style crosswords. I was like, I can't. I just can't. This is just too hard. It requires like a big brain, and you need like to be so much pun peeled, but in English, it's too hard. Ennui sounds very Miyabi chat peel. What does that mean? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't try to be too melancholic on stream. Okay, so we have been yapping far enough, I believe. So it's time to go back to Dragon Quest. Oh, probably nothing is ready, right? I completely forgot to do my setup today. So bear with me. Oh no, it works. I was actually incredibly based. Chat, I was talking about the chat. The sound is a bit loud on my end, so I will just like put the sound on a little bit. Probably it should still be alright. And so we can continue to yap. Having to know which football running back scored? Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh no, you have like those... Like I can't do crosswords in general because I'm so bad with entertainment. I'm so bad when it comes to identify like this pop singer, this actor or actress, identify this, sportsman or sportswoman, but that are only known in like English countries and most likely like only the US. It's just that I can't. Anyway, today, I don't know what we are doing today, to be fair. We are doing a sort of like optional dungeon, just because why not? The sound is so loud. I don't know if it's loud for you. I've changed my headphones and I don't have like a thing to control the volumes in my headphones. Like embedded in my headphones, like my earbuds. And normally when I stream, I put the volume very low, so I'm able to yap like on top of the music, and you can have like something that is still very, quite loud on your end. But because I don't have like this setting, this feature anymore, I'm struggling. Okay, so the side dungeon that we want to do is near Muir. Well, not near, but like opposite of Muir if we are crossing the Pacific Ocean. It's so hot. It's literally so hot. Yeah, I should drink. The implied conjugation of the question changing the words. Exactly. Although I think that is, to be fair, like something that will help you at least put the ending of the word. And so you can like cheat a few letters just by knowing that, I don't know, it was at the, third person, you can probably just put an S immediately. If it's like preterite, you can like put the preterite form at the end. And hopefully you can like grind a few letters out of that. Same thing with plurals. But yeah, crossword is my jam. Like I'm pretty good at like crossword in French, but I don't think we can do that on stream because, well, it's in French. Like the day we're doing like a stream in French, I think like it's already cooked. You are chatter. No, I think you are hot. Dum ba bum. There are supplies. Again, those supplies are not very interesting. French learning crossword stream. No, but like French learning stream at some point, why not? I just need to like have an idea of how we can actually learn French, because I'm expecting most people here to be like absolute beginners in French. And teaching like to absolute beginners, I think it's harder than teaching people that have 1 year of experience. Because probably for like beginners, for great beginners, you have to start with just saying hello and goodbye and thank you or something like that, right? Like concrete music. But I'm thinking about that. I obviously do not know like French textbooks very well, so I can't use them like for... I don't know if Assimil is a good enough like textbook, but I need to check. We can have that at some point, literally just for that. Concrete music. So the tower is just here. This is an optional dungeon. We get like an item from that, but this item is just useful for this for like finding orbs, basically. Like if you don't know where to go, you interesting, you have like this boss in there. She's crazy. Sigrid is crazy. I think we're a bit too aggressive on... Are we though? Fight wisely, okay. If you stop chatting, it's just because you fell asleep. For your information, do not worry. I think it's important for you to rest because you still have this week to go. So I'm just happy, to be like a second monitor content. Or just something you put like in the background. You're going to cook some food. See you a bit later. Have fun in the kitchen. I guess we want to go to the middle of this floor. We see that there's a chest in there, so we just have to go there and to the left. To be fair, we'll be able to make like some decent amount of XP in here, now that we are like, oh my throat, literally dying because it's so hot. Help. I will die. A very good crit. But yeah, I don't know when I'll take like some vacations from streaming. I want to take like 2 weeks at some point. But I do not know when. Probably when there will be like a heat wave. But that's also like, I want to stream when there's like have a break when it's not, you know, too hot. So who knows? Is it that cooked? Is it I don't understand. We'll never know. We'll never know the utility of that thing. But yeah, a break at some point, and like I have like projects, personal projects that I should be able. Do you not have air conditioning? I have a fan, but I don't have air conditioning because in France it's uncommon to have air conditioning. So we want to explore everything before we go to... Okay, I see. It's pretty uncommon to have air conditioning compared to like some other countries. And I guess it's like far worse than the golden clothes, right? Yeah. It's kind of like a sort of like political statement, and some also like a few years ago, because I was like, like air conditioning, like you are basically contributing to the heat bubble of your city, right? And I was like, it's good to have air conditioning, but it was never a necessity because the heat waves were very temporary, wouldn't last too long. So probably you can just do, you know, without AC. But I think that it's kind of cooked right now, that I really need like air conditioning in the following years, because it will be like, it will not be, I won't be able to survive summer, I think. It's just too hot when it's constantly at like 30 degrees inside. I just can't work. So I'm like thinking about it at some point. But I'm still, you know, a bit self-conscious about it. I never had AC until I moved to Chicago. Yeah, it's kind of like a similar situation. What is she talking about? What are you saying, Siggy? So yeah, I don't know. The fan is enough now, and the fan has been like running constantly, like for the past, you know, 2 weeks. It just I don't know how to handle the heat, because it's making me very unproductive. And some people should say, but you know, Miyabi, you don't have to be productive. Like it's, you know, you're too much capitalism pilled. Just take some time to rest, you know, if it's too hot. And I'm like, yes, but I still have some projects to do, so So I can't rest. There was nothing in here. And like I think that lately I'm forced to cut back on like a lot of things that I'm doing, and I don't like that. I don't like having to rest. Because it means that like my projects will have to be done, you know, later anyway. And yeah, I don't know. Research is taking so much time, like for very minimal progress, because it's so much of something in the long run that sometimes I do like, maybe I talked about that on stream already, but like I do hours of research and it's just like, it's not wasted, but like I have nothing to really show for it. When it's like 35-ish indoors, the heat become uncomfortable. Yeah. I mean, you live in a country where it's possible. I think like 35 indoors, I would die. I would literally die. But yeah, I think I'm starting to have like, you know, this change of heart. I think lately, like I was with some people in a car, and when I was like younger, it was like, do not ever use the AC in the car. You can just deal with, you know, the heat by having the windows open, and it will be probably enough. And now I do think that in some contexts, and especially if you have like a pet or a child in your car, not using the AC is like borderline criminal because it's so hot. So yeah, it's a complicated situation. So we want to go like to this part of like the middle part of this floor, but to do that we need to fall from higher. The problem is that, not the problem, but is there like things that are like on the other sections? We need to explore. We can explore. We have like the resources to do that. But yeah, also I really want, you know, temperatures to go down, just because I'm annoyed talking about like the weather every stream. I think like I'm, you know, this old lady, she's always talking about like the weather, how unbearable it is. I want to yap about other things, please. But for that we need the heat wave to end. But this has been like, I think the worst, the worst month of June forever. I can't remember in my life like a month of June that was like that hard to handle. I remember that at some point I had my finals for college at this point of the year, and it was so hard. Like temperatures were very, very, very high. And it made like, you know, just reviewing material very hard. But even that was like milder than right now. If I had like exams right now, I would fail the exams probably. So yeah, we really struggle. It would be good not to fall, by the way. Do I have other things that I want to say? I felt like I had like some things I wanted to talk about, but I just can't remember. Oh, interesting crush. Very interesting. Don't worry, the program will come back at some point. This game has a lot of autosaves. I think it's autosaving after every battle, so probably we haven't lost anything, but it's just like slightly annoying when it crashes like that. Yeah, we can take the opportunity to yap a little bit. I went to like my manga bookstore to try to check like for interesting things. It's literally like there are so many things and everything is like uninteresting. It's the same, third rank, third grade shonen manga. It's just so bad. And we're in a situation where like I talked about that already, but like the French market for like manga is flooded by new releases, and basically you exit the table of being a new release after like a week. Back in my days, it was things would stay there like for a month on the presentation table. And nowadays, it's like you see so many new things, but like it's just so bad. It is just so bad. And there were like interesting things I wanted to buy, but also like it was so expensive. Like, imagine paying 20 euros, $20 for like a manga. One volume, only one volume. And it's like we can't handle that in this economy. Like, reading manga it's a hobby that you can't even get into it like if you are if you don't have like just you're poor, whatever. And I was checking like some old manga, very good level up, probably. No, it's okay. It's good. I was checking some old mangas and it was like, oh, back in those days, like the volume was like €6 or something. And now like the average is like probably like 9, 8.5. And it's just like concrete music. It's just not worth it to get into long series nowadays, I think. My CPU is really like under strain. So yeah, do we want to jump from here? I mean, we can go like to the platforms south to be able to get like some loot, but thankfully I can just like walk with like the D-pad and I won't like fall, right? We live in completely different worlds, lol. It has always been that expensive to get manga here. I think it's mostly because like France is such a weak country. And back then I think... Okay, so first question is like, what's the average price for a book, literature book in Denmark? Because you can have a situation where like books in general are not that expensive. Nanoy. She's crazy. Can you do the conversion? Because like I just can't do it like in the top of my head. I know we talked about like currency exchange rates, but It varies a lot. But I think it's like France used to be a country where books were not that expensive. And it really became like unsustainable in the past. 26 is crazy. 26 is like, even for upper price, I would be like, your country is literally gatekeeping culture from the people there. And I think that's criminal. And it's just that in some ways, I wish I was living in a country where books are inexpensive and you can like really have a broad access to literature. Very interesting. But the candy box shouldn't be a problem at that level, probably, if we don't fail the attack. I thought this was normal. I think it's like madness. Like, I used to buy books every week. When I had like my job, I used to like buy books every week for like 20-25 euros. We need to fall, right? Which is basically like, back then it was like, I could get like 3 books for that. But like with the price point that you're explaining, you can get like 1 or 2 books. Let's say 1.5 per week if you buy like with my budget. And maybe it's enough, but like when you compare that to like some countries that have a very aggressive book culture, for example in Japan, like books in Japan, it's literally like a full book, it's like 2 euros. You can get, yes, obviously like secondhand is very different, but like I think it's even like the way a country will foster its culture is by having like low price points for, you know, first-hand books. And in Japan, for like 2 euros, basically, you could get like a full book. And that's why like Japan is so that the Eco Flute is the item that help us like discover the orbs if we need some hints, but whatever. And because the prices are that low in Japan, it's really easy to get into literature and to read like a lot of very different things, even things that are slightly outside of like your comfort zone, because it's not that expensive, right? I think this is like the thing. The more expensive something is, the less you want to take risk in terms of like, oh, I will try to go outside of, you know, what I read usually, because it's just too much. Like you don't have the money to buy some things that probably you won't like. And there's that in Japan, and there's also like a very big culture of magazines. And I think this is very important as well, because you know one author that you like a lot, writer that you like a lot, and it's like, oh, he or they are publishing, you know, in whatever magazine. But like you will buy the entire magazine, which is not that expensive. Like the magazine will be, you know, maybe like 3, 4, or 5 euros. So you read like the chapter or like the short story of your favorite author, and you will be able to discover a lot of other authors by checking the rest of the magazine. And that's combined with also like beginner prices, like prices for newcomer writers. You foster a very, very dynamic publishing landscape where it's easy to get into reading. It's easy to get into book. Is the game crashing again? It's slightly worrying, to be honest. Okay, no. We're basically done here. I don't think anything was an upgrade, to be fair. Maybe the thief turban, yeah, but like not by much, right? And the rest is kind of like, yeah, okay. I could have put that on. I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference at the end of the day. Okay. The game is affecting your CPU so much that my PC is crashing out as well. It's the heat. Trust is the heat. I should like check like the internals of my computer, by the way, like do like some cleaning and whatever, replying like thermal paste for this summer. But yeah, and I think like some countries like a very vivid culture like this, and this is very good to help people get into some sort of some hobbies. But we don't have that like in every country, and I think like in France, it's going worse and worse. And I don't know. I think like it's cooked. It's cooked. I think reading nowadays in this country is really hard because we don't give people the means of reading. We don't like teach them to love reading, be it in school or be it in like bookstores with like accessible, prices. But yeah, I don't know. Concrete music. We want to go to Australia. There was one thing. Oh my god. I don't know what is going on. Let me check like... Crunchy. Very crunchy. What is destroying my... my CPU like this? I really need to upgrade my CPU. But oh my god, I need to upgrade like the mother card as well, the motherboard as well. It's just too much. It's just too much. I don't know. I was just about to say that it might have to do with sales tax, but France and Denmark only have a 5% difference. The thing in France is that we have unique price. Without a law for like unique price for books. So basically, when a book is released, you cannot sell it more than the price that has been set up by the publisher. This is to disencourage competition against bookstores, basically. And because of that, prices will stay generally low. But by the same extent, like bookstores cannot do discounts on books. We have like just one exception, is that you can do, well, the maximum discount that you can do like on a book is like 5%. And what bookstores tend to do is that it's kind of like your, I don't know, how do you say that? Like fidelity, program or whatever. You come here like 10 times and like the 11th time you'll have like a 5% reduction on your entire order, purchase, whatever. And this was like a situation that was good enough to like keep the prices a bit low in France. The problem now is that most of the publishing houses have been bought by very rich and very right-wing people, and they just care about profits. So we have seen like a big increase of the price of books, not necessarily because the materials are that expensive. I mean, we had like a crisis of paper, I think like 2 years ago, but mostly when you see like how the money of the sales is split between all of the actors, the publishing house is just gaining more and more every year. So we are just cooked, is what I mean. Let's check like those side rooms first, Desho. That's a very different system. I think that was a good system. The yellow orb is forever moving from hand to hand. Interesting. But yeah, it's like, obviously the cultural landscape is shaped by policies. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Having upper bounds is based, actually, it is really, really good. It is really, really good, to be fair, because you knew that, like, obviously you have a difference, you know, depending on, like, if you have like a hardcover, if you have, like, you know, a strong paperback or whatever, you obviously have like types of books that are more expensive than the rest. But like for your standard, you know, pocket format book, you knew back then that like you could buy it like for 5, 6 or 7 euros maximum, wherever you go. Most of the time, like things, if you bought through Amazon or in like supermarkets your books, they will like always apply the 5% discount, just because like books are kind of like a sell leader or leading seller. I don't remember how they call that in English. But the thing that you sell like slightly like underpriced, because you know that you will make money with people doing their groceries in the supermarket. But like for independent like libraries, bookstores, I mean, it means that wherever you go, you will have the same price, and you can like genuinely like support your local bookstore, because it will not be more expensive than anybody else. It will not be more expensive than, you know, big bookstore like chains, and I think this is really, really good. But the problem is that it works on the goodwill of the publisher. But if the publisher is raising the price, nobody has anything. We can't say anything, to be fair. It's like, yeah, just, you know, deal with it, and I guess read less, because publishers are greedy nowadays, at least the big ones that have been, you know, bought by rich people. And we're also in France in this situation of like consolidations of like publishing houses, where we have like such a big diversity, but when you check, you have like 10 publishing houses that are the same company. And it's like, yeah, creating some sort of like very weird, you know, monopolies that if I talk more about it, I'll be in big trouble probably. Yaps about capitalism, that's on the bingo account. You know, it's like, it's hard not to in this society. I've talked about that like a lot. Do we want to talk about politics on stream? I know that some people do not, because that's not the kind of atmosphere that they want to like foster on stream. I don't personally mind. By the way, why are we going there without healing first? Like really, like for the most part, because a lot of, you know, people, streamers that are like, they are, you know, politics peeled, but they don't talk about that on stream, and to be fair, I understand. Rather quest some dragons. But I do think that because we are kind of like, you know, social science, humanities, and kind of like educational peeled, it's just too hard for us to avoid talking about politics. So I try to not go like too deep into it, because I think it's like, I trust my chat to be like smart enough, basically. I trust that I have viewers that are the best viewers possible, basically. And it's like, we know we have like very similar opinions on those things. And you don't need me, like, you can check the news, you can check like whatever sources you want to see politics. And there are people that are doing like a marvelous job of, you know, trying to talk about it and to introduce it to a broader audience. I don't think it's the point of this stream, just because if I start to do it, then I only do politics. And I prefer to talk about politics when it's touching like some topics that are of interest to me, which is always the case, right? I'm talking about the Sumida River, I'm talking about like urban planning, about climate change, about like so many things. Obviously, we'll talk about politics at some point, and it will like arise naturally in the conversation, and I'm not trying to avoid it. But at the same time, I'm not going too far into it, just because. And it's not even like to make people, like, you know, I'm like a sort of centrist. I don't have any opinion on something. No, I have opinions. First of all, I'm probably just too woke to be allowed to talk on stream. And like, again, I trust you to be like very smart people. So you don't need like my opinions on politics, probably. But if somebody is asking my opinions and I think the topic is interesting, I will give my opinions. Politics just often sneaks its way into whatever random topic we're talking about anyways. It's true, exactly. It's like the way our stream and conversations are like set up, we're naturally talking about politics, which is nice, to be honest. There's a difference, like there's politics and politics, basically, is what I want to say. Yeah. Let me, by the way, just before we start. So this is what I wanted to do today. So perhaps it will be like, you know, enough, or maybe we'll continue a little bit. I don't know. This is the ultimate test. Do we possess the courage to trust in your own strength to stand alone against your enemy? So this is basically a solo dungeon. And unfortunately, I don't think we can rely on Sigrid here, because I don't know, I think Sigrid is lacking a little bit of AoE damage. I think I should go, just because I'm at the highest levels. So what's in Foucault? I mean, this stream is kind of like the panoptic, right? And thankfully, I have not started to talk about Foucault yet on stream. At least I think. I don't think we talked about Foucault on stream. Interesting. Okay. So, wait, do we have a choice? Oh, because it's the one in the lead that is going there. I see. Okay. I mean, face your destiny alone. What if I don't want to? A prayer ring. If we need some MP, although to be fair, MP will mostly be used for healing. I think we can rely on our weapons. Siggy sweating about Siggy sweating about Miyabi yapping about Foucault. I mean, Foucault has been like obviously I'm working in social science. Obviously Foucault is important, but like it has been a big inspiration for my research, because my thesis was about like women in ancient Greece. And some sort of, you know, gender politics and whatever. Gendered memory. And you have like a history of sexuality in antiquity by Foucault, and this is like kind of like necessary to, you know, a necessary reading to get into the topic, because it's quite good actually. It's like those authors where you read them for the first time, like famous authors, and you're like, oh yeah, I understand why, you know, it's like such a big deal. So there's a cave in the middle, but probably we want to explore a little bit before. The question is, do we do enough damage? I mean, okay, we two-hit them. I think it's like pretty good. There's a secret spot in here. Well, whatever. There's a chest. This is probably very good. No equipment. This is very good. That's probably Tesho. But yeah, we'll talk about all of that next year. I mean, you know, during the fall when we'll do the education series. Because I kind of want to, like, the point is to be accessible, but I still want to introduce some authors. We'll take a look at what people have written on the topic. So unfortunately, it will be like, you know, close to like a classroom lecture, but still, you know, interactive, still on the lighter side. But yeah, we'll talk. I need to check that. It has been like quite some time since I've done some. Or maybe we should like use the thing to. Oh no, they're all very weak. It has been quite some time since I've prepared some classes, so I need to like check what kind of like format I want to make. I haven't taught to people in, to be fair, since COVID. I was giving like a lot of classes before, and COVID hit, and I was like, I can't see anyone, and I was never able to go back into teaching. But also because like teaching, as you know, an independent, you know, private teacher, whatever, people don't like teachers that are too qualified. And I think like I was in my master and it was probably a bit too much, because there's a reason why undergraduate students are teaching, right? Because they don't have qualifications, so you can pay them like very, very little. And you will always prefer them to like adult teachers. And when I checked, I was unable to find like a family that wanted me specifically as a teacher. I was like, it was always like, oh, we have like so many, you know, people that are asking, you know, proposing their profile, and yeah, we just preferred that to you. And 100% of the time, I mean 100%, it's because like they were underpaid. Because I'm working on my master, so I have obviously to raise my prices a little bit. And I thought about like teaching in, you know, for free, in association and stuff, and I'm like, I don't have the time for that. Couldn't find anyone to underpay you, but I couldn't find anyone to pay me properly at the same time. So it's kind of cooked, this show. Is this some sort of like cyclic corridor? I mean, those enemies are kind of like old enemies. They're even fleeing because we're too powerful. So I was thinking whether we should like use the whatever water protection, holy protection, or whatever to like skip the combats. But because this is so weak, they are so weak, maybe we don't have to, and it's still making like a little bit of XP, so it's probably alright. We have a metal slime here. Okay, my problem right now is that we have a magical thingy. I should like change that to like the sword just to be able to like kill you. But I don't think I'll be able to kill you in like one hit. This is slightly like, should I bother with them? Yeah, I shouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't bother with equipment, go strong. We can metal slimes even if we find them, like just kill them. This is kind of like the thing with like working, you know, as a freelance in this economy, is that getting paid the proper amount for your work is impossible. It's just impossible. Be it like teaching, be it translation, be it whatever. It's just, I just can't. Praying, another one. And it's a bit worrying, to be honest. Because unfortunately, I don't think, I mean, and I'm streaming, like, but I don't think I'm ready to go back into corporate environment. At least not someone that I really, you know, I really have like some compensations for that. A lot of XP. So it is what it is. And all the, you know, if streaming doesn't work, all the jobs that are interesting to me, they are just unrealistic nowadays. We talked about the translation, like how do you want to get into translations nowadays? I think if you want to get into translation, technical translations, it's impossible, literally impossible. And if you don't get into like technical translations, then you need to go into literary translation, and the market is just crowded. You basically have like to work on your own time to be able to you know, output some, to be like, oh no, you know, like I've translated on my spare time and I can pitch you like, this is worrying. Can I? Because I don't have like spells that are that powerful, they show. Or is Apple good enough? Well. So translation is kind of a no-go. I want to do some research, but again, like, you have two paths for research, I think. Well, three, but like the third one I think is unrealistic. First path, you go back to the academia. You try to find like a job there. And it's like, good luck. Good luck for that. Hi, May. I hope that you are doing all right today. It's very, very nice to see you here. So yeah, academia, you need to find like a job there. It's not easy, and it comes with like a lot of, you know, a lot of problems also. So if you don't want to get to that route, you can try the private route by doing some research for, you know, in corporate setting, or for museums, for example, for clients that requires your there's something like, okay, that requires your, you know, abilities on a very specific basis. I don't know, somebody is releasing a book, they want like some contextualization or whatever, they can ask you. Somebody is trying to, I don't know, make a market study or whatever, you can like pitch in, maybe. So those settings are interesting, but you still need to build your network, and I think it's kind of cooked. And the other route is basically like what I'm trying to do It's like, be interesting on the internet and people will pay you for, you know, your yap. But for that, I need to like be able to like output some videos. I cannot just spend time streaming. I need to make some evergreen videos. So that's what we're working on, you know, next year. You are glad that you are going into a field where you don't have to worry too much about job possibilities. Yeah, a job in a... Exactly, it's like... I feel like this type of like STEM work, very good. Very, very good. And it's kind of like the problem with the humanities. You don't have a good counterpart for, you know, lab work. It just doesn't exist. Or it does, but it means like, okay, go work with a museum, but like try to find like a museum that is willing to work with you. It's not that easy, I fear. I so just want to make my own job, but that's not the most realistic thing. In this economy, probably not. And this is a bit sad, right? Because our parents, or maybe, you know, depending on the age of your parents, obviously, but like, this is the generation of people that literally had zero issues. Like, not zero issues, but it was okay. And the generation just before, like literally the boomers, okay, listen, they are born after the war. They have enjoyed the entire benefits of countries getting reconstructed. They have enjoyed a very vivid and dynamic economy, very low prices. And now that they are old, they're reaping all the benefits with like pension and stuff. Literally paid like at the present, in the here and now, by people that are struggling to, you know, exist, the younger generations. And it's like, and those people, I don't know why I'm talking about like boomers. I guess I just wanted to, you know, ult on boomers. But they have the audacity of saying that, oh, you know, it's not that hard to find a job in this economy. Back in my days, like, it was so easy to do things. Yeah, back in your days. And now being a freelance, making, I don't know, you know, kind of like building your own business or whatever, it's a bit cooked, right? What are we doing? By the way, this is extremely good. I don't know. My grandma just walked into the office, the government office, asked a job and worked there for basically her whole life. I think this is also the thing. You know, like, people nowadays, and I think even when I was young, but already you could hear like the discourse of, oh no, you have to be flexible with your job. You can't like, no, we want agility. You don't stay at the same job for your entire life. You need like to move. You need like transversal or like lateral movement in your career, because this is giving you experience. And it's like, it's very easy to say when, you know, you're basically like a higher up in a company where you'll stay your entire life. And you have also like all those people that, oh, I hate them the most. It's like falling upwards. It's like, oh, I was the CEO in this company, I crashed the company, but then I got CEO into like a new company, like a bigger company. It's like, we should where's the, I wonder. Do we want to go south or do we want to go north? I don't know. Let's go south first. Yeah, because this is like the ending, they sure? Or my grandpa who had a career in academia without having to face the same competitive research landscape of today. Exactly. Exactly. It's just unrealistic. Like, I gave up my dream about academia because it's just too hard to get into it. Like, having an entry job at the university right now to become a teacher at the university, I think the average age of entry is 35 nowadays. Like, there's not even a point in trying if you're like under this age. And it's like, do I want to spend like 10 years of my life doing basically like maybe things that I like, but things that doesn't work until I get into it. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's too much. Falcon / is good. Seriously, mate. And there's this situation where like you just cannot leave if you're entering the market job. Like, what do you do? They want jobs, like they want people with like experience for like a beginner, job. Why do I have to have money to live? +2. I mean, this is why like universal pension is, I think, a very good idea nowadays. Because you have like the minimum to live, like in a decent way, but you work on top and it gives you like more money to just enjoy your life. And I don't know. Imagine having money. I will once again try to sell my idea of the puzzle-making queer anarchist commune in the woods. This is kind of the comeback of this idea, right? It has been a long time since we have talked about this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Probably there's something, but post-game? I don't know. I can't remember that. But to be fair, I was talking to that with a lot of, friends and stuff. Of living together. Like in a village, or just having a big house where you can have like your independence, like you have like parts just for you. But you live with other people and it's kind of like relying on the group diverse set of skills to just live. And that would be very good. And to be fair, I talked about that with some people and it was kind of made as a joke, but I think nobody was really joking. It's like, oh no, really, like if in 10 or 20 years we can like have a big house somewhere and just live together and all that would be like really, really cool. And I'm still thinking about this. But you need to have like very good friends to be able to do that though. And then like buying a house, I think buying the house is not the most difficult things because you have a lot of kind of like abandoned houses and buildings that you can refurbish, I guess. But I don't know. At the same time, I have like my Japanese textbook. There are like, some sort of like written exercises, essays. And one of it was like, what do you think you will do in like 10 years? And I'm like, in this economy, do you think I have like an idea of what I want to do like in 10 years? Are you mad? I've been talking about that with my partner and our mutual friend as well. I mean, this is, and I think like probably our generation, a lot of people are into that idea. I think we are past the dream of like the traditional nuclear family, and now it's just about it's just about finding the people that you like and living with them, no matter if you're in a relationship or with them or not. And this is good. This is kind of like we talked about me liking having order in general, but like this is kind of like one of the things where I really enjoy the departure from traditional structures. Like those building blocks they made for elderly people to live, to make sure they have company and help close to each other instead of elderly home. Kind of something like that, yes. I know that like I saw that on Twitter. I don't know if they did it, but like they found like a big building that they could buy and refurbish, and they were like actually doing the math, and it was like, okay, let's pitch in together all the people like interested by that, and we literally buy the building and make it like a sort of like anarchist commune or whatever. And hopefully they did that, because I think it was like such an interesting idea, and I really thought about it at some point. But it's like new form, as you say, like new form of solidarity. I think like elderly homes were at a point where, I mean, everybody knew back then that it was kind of like a cooked concept, right? Like elderly homes were created when like the children of those elderly people could not take care of them anymore because like they're working, and it's just like a departure from the idea that a family should stay under the same roof, like with like 3 generations. But I do think that people know that it's kind of bad elderly homes. Like you don't, unless like you're really rich and you can pay for something really good, you don't expect the person to have like a nice time in the elderly home, right? It's, if you're sending someone there, it's probably because you want to get rid of them, they sure. And I think nowadays we have seen like, because we know that the conditions in most of elderly homes is very bad, at least here in France, that people are like kind of like coming back from that idea to like other models, like what you're suggesting, well, building blocks, or just like trying to live together again. It's very interesting, this evolution of familial structures. What am I talking about? I don't know. She's yapping. Very good crit. Okay. So we have a boss, but I don't think that should be like... Hello.
You would resist.
You would resist. I would.
Well, then you shall die by my magic.
Okay. Okay. Well, who do we want to target first? I mean, question, like there's a question here, is that probably we want to get like a single target to be able to cleave one of them. My idea is that we should cleave the vampire first, because they will like sap our MP, and this is really bad. So my question is like, are you sensible to something? Is Falcon Slash good on Mad Vlad? Not bad, to be honest. Okay, the problem is that we're taking a lot of damage here, especially because of that. I have thoughts about elderly homes that should not be shed on stream. I think we have the same thoughts, so probably we don't need to like... Okay, very good. We need to heal. We need to heal. This is important. So fight spells, I need the mid heal. This was not the... Oh, you're making it revive. This is bad. Why is it bad? Okay, so here we need to change our item. If we can kill with a Gust Rung, this would be good. Probably I can accept one... Oh no, but if you're like... You will kill me, right? I should also like dodgy dance at some point, but... Okay, Oomph is good, probably. Because Oomph is like for normal attacks. Can I kill you? Yeah, okay. Okay, you're trying to go for normal attacks now because you're under Oomph, which is very good because your AI is completely confused. So now we go back to the Orochi sword. We need to heal, probably. Heal here. You should still be under Oomph. So now we are just like Falcon slashing you until you die. Very good. Yeah, just do that. I think it's very good. And I'll just like kill you. 100 damage is probably enough, I think, but... Yeah, just do that, just do that. It's very good. Just do 1 point of damage every turn. You're healing though, every now and then. So I'm basically doing like 70 points of damage per turn, which is not that good because we'll run out of MP at some point. What if I just do a normal attack? It's not that bad, it's not that bad. You can waste your turn. How many HP do you have? Okay, so we need to heal. We need to save our MP to heal here. Let's just do normal attacks. Because if... Yeah, exactly. We cannot have a situation where they cast like spells twice in a row. It's just too much. So you failed your thing. I think it's very good. You're almost dying. Okay, you should die here probably. Not yet. How much like MP do you have, like HP do you have in your weak state? Okay, good. Yeah. Just hope I will get to still be fully myself until it's time instead of an elderly home and confused. I have thoughts about that, but I probably shouldn't share them, I think. Yeah.
But I was destined to destroy everything in the Archfiend's way.
Well, too bad, I guess. Too bad, I guess.
Please, forgive me, Lord Barra.
Lord Baramos? No way. Very interesting. Your lawyers are calling me Miyabi. It's like... to be fair, it's kind of similar to what like May is saying. I don't think I will be here anymore. By the time, you know, you're thinking about an elderly home, but I shouldn't talk about that. I guess the spirit bracelet is probably for... Oh, it's for defense purposes. But... I don't think we want to change that. It will probably be for someone else. We have a very good equipment with Miyabi, a defensive equipment with a dragon shield and the earthenware. So no, we should be good. Let's just equip the gust ring again. And are we done in here? I mean, we can continue a little bit. Yeah, okay. We'll escape this place and we want to go to here, I think. Let's go to Brazil. And we can continue a little bit. Yeah, I have my team with me and we can check if someone can take like... But everyone is pretty much like offense focused and not like defense focused. So probably we should ignore that. Can we rest in this place or not? We cannot. Whatever. Interesting. So we want to go to that city there. There's probably like... Because we want to take the bridge right and just continue through the forest. But I think we want to explore this side first. Because there might be like things of interest. But yeah, I think like we are in a situation also like with, and in certain countries because of the aging of the population, there's like this renewed idea of like what care is for like the vulnerable people. And, you know, solutions are kind of like slow, but at least we have like some discussion on it. And I think it's good. Obviously, it's especially the case in Japan. Because, I mean, the population is declining and it's getting also older every year, so... Well, it's complicated, but like we were talking about climate change and things like that. Do you still think we'll be like alive to see that? My cat is touching the mic again. She's crazy. This is basically it, the show. Now, she doesn't want to sleep. I don't know why. Needy little thing. Okay, so we'll just follow like the route to the next city, making like a little bit of XP en route. But we have like this spell. We have unlocked this spell. This is like the tier 3 spells. A very good crit, by the way. When are you posting a cat pic? I did not post a cat pic on the server. Did I forget to do that? I might have forgotten to do that. I'll do that just after stream then. I'll do that just after stream. I was so certain that I did post a picture, but maybe not. I don't know. I'll post that after stream. Either one, you know, taken right now, or one that I already have on my phone. I don't know. I don't think she has ever been posted on the server. Yeah. Maybe it's, yeah, because I might have confused that with like some other places, some other servers where I did post my cat, so you'll see how crazy she is. I'll send like one picture where she's cute and one picture where she's absolutely unhinged. Can you... Nanui. Really don't want to be nice. She's again touching the... Oh, she's touching the arm of the... She sounds very unhinged today. I don't know why she's not sleeping. Normally she should be sleeping, but I guess she just doesn't care right now. I don't know. We'll see for raid tomorrow, but... Like, I think she's adapting to the heat, but she's still like a bit confused. It has like shifted her, you know, life routine like a little bit, I think. Oh, this is like a full defense. Interesting. Interesting. Like, obviously I don't have a camera right now, but she's literally sitting on the armrest of my chair, and she's just watching the stream through, like, you know, the preview of OBS. She is such a baby. Base chatter. She is kind of a chatter, although can I really like talk to you, Nanui? I can. Yeah. She's funny. Kata. I mean... Oh, this attacks all enemies as well. This is very, very strong. Like chat or like chat is cat in French, so, you know, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, so let's go to colonial Portugal. The maths are working. What maths? What are you talking about? There's a monster arena. But again, we're not doing that. Oh. A seed of agility. Don't even worry about it. What is she talking about? My chat is crazy. Okay, let's increase our HP. That should go to May because she's the lowest. Defense can go on May as well. Seed of Luck, we should like funnel that into May and one into Secret. Agility should be for me probably. Stamina on the lowest, so May. Strength should all go on Secret, no question there. Magic both on Kali. And Wisdom both on Kali also. Imagine if Ellie was chatting as well, it would be so peak. Ellie is in the kitchen. She is cooking. There's some like... Oh no, this is like the... This is like the equipment shop, but... It is not... Only no, leave our homeland. I must take with me my dear my grandfather. Alas, he will surely not survive the journey. What am I to do? Don't worry about it. Okay. Do we have something upstairs? Nanui, what is she doing? The mud rod. Okay, so I need to come back from the other side. We don't have anything to loot here. With your tails that is going like, you know, in all directions, you don't even care that I'm on my job. You're not selling during the night. Very uncapitalistic behavior. I mean, we could just rest for the... Eh? My husband, why did you have to die? Cat is here to take your job. I mean, if you know, enjoy listening to my cat yapping for 2 hours, it's literally, you know, what I experience every day. So, she could take my job. Can I? Oh, this is not something to loot. Very interesting. Doo-doo-doo. Something in there. Cat just streams on Tuesday and Thursdays. I have like a chat full of cats. I guess I can like explore that immediately. Very big graveyard. A bag full of cats. Very interesting. What do we have here? Oh, I'm getting baited by those like drawers when they are not places for loot. Okay, let's go do some grave digging. Interesting. The girls own annual. That's a book. Do we have like repeated books? It feels like. A mini medal. I love grave digging. Okay, so this is only like on the... Yeah, okay, we have everything in here, I think. We can like save... Well, we can do the other way around, like sleep in the inn and then save in the church. The inflation is crazy. Brazil inflation. It's also the sad theme of Dragon Quest. A pair of boxer shorts. Okay. What a based mono black take. What are you talking about? I swear. Did we have... Eh? Wasn't there an inspect thingy? Common? That just... it might have just been like speak to, right? We said like go into the church to save. I love grave digging too. What a base mono black take. I mean... Don't worry about it. To be fair, I enjoy when games really call you out for grave digging. So that you have like, you know, the choice of not doing it if you are like a good person, quote unquote. Like in those RPGs, we are kind of like behaving like barbarians, but I don't know. I love grave digging. I love digging. I don't like digging. This is not true. Okay, do we have like things in the arena again, like some sort of like pots and whatever lying around? The boogie woogie. Very interesting. What a based geological take. I mean, when I was like a kid, there was like, you know, some sort of like excursions with a class. And we would do like some sort of like digging, kind of like geology and stuff. This was fun because we have very, very interesting like places near where I live. I won't say what you know, type of like rocks we have, because incredibly insane people could dox me just by knowing the composition of like the geographical stratas in France. But this was like very nice. I've seen like very interesting reliefs where you really see like the cliff is like literally split in two, and you see like all those like geological stratas, and it was like very, very interesting. Okay, let's go buy things since it's daytime. Did you taste the rocks? No. Like, I remember that some people in my class, like we were children, like wanted to do so, but like our teacher was like, no, don't do this. Rocks. I am surrounded by like rock-loving chatters, and it's almost worrying. Dragon Shield for 7 points of defense, not worth it. The Magic Shield for Kalido, I see the vision. Yeah, you can equip right now. Thief Turbant. Another one, they sure? But like for 6 points, a bit expensive. Dragon Scale Ruby Wristband, Weight Lifters Belt. I think I don't know. Maybe not that useful, actually. I mean, taken to the hospital as a kid, putting a rock up your nose? Up your nose? Oh my god, it's horrible. It's horrible. I've told like on stream how much like I have this, I cannot handle thinking about the internals of the human body. And just thinking about that is, I don't know, I have shivers right now. I'm shivering of pain and... Oh, I don't know. I was like a nice kid when I was young, so I did not had like any, you know, misadventures like that.
You there!
You there! Me?
Sorry for stopping you out of the blue. You're not from here, are you?
No.
I thought as much. Listen, our king is not as he once was. It is dangerous to even enter the Castel.
The Castel. I don't know how to speak Portuguese, by the way.
He has punished many an innocent man for crimes they did not commit. I do not wish for you to befall the same fate.
The Sinner's Cavity, the Forbidden Cave. the platonic cave, a theory of the cave.
You see, my papai, Simão, was
Simão.
one of the king's victims. 10 years ago, he was charged with treason and locked away. The king used to be known for his generosity and understanding.
We should talk about philosophy at some point, by the way.
But then one day, he became the brute that rules us now.
We should talk about monism and things like that. It would be like the worst stream of all time.
Therefore, I think it's best you
Although I
avoid
was
the
checking,
Castelo
like-
at all costs. You can never be too careful.
I was checking like a Japanese streams, like, and the streamer is basically like economics peeled. And he was just talking about like central bank, rates. And I was like, for like 2 hours on stream as a VTuber, you are crazy. You didn't even eat a coin why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, I was a very like obedient and well-behaved and restrained kid. So no, I did not like eat a coin as a kid. I was nice. Do I have things in there? Oh, that was something. A seed of agility. Okay. I don't know. I was never about like, oh, this is small, I can put it in my mouth. And it's kind of the same thing. I never relied too much like on the pacifier in general, like. A mini medal. Hello. If his supper is late, we too will receive the death sentence. Maybe the texture eater in me. Like the texture of like rocks and coins. So that's why, like you said, like you don't like soft things, right? Like mushroom is not possible, I think, something like that. But like hard things, like hard candies and stuff. This is your thing? Crunchy things. I love hard candy. Okay, I see the profile of person that you are. Let's go in here. There is literally nothing. No, there's nothing. I wasn't too much like of a hard candy eater. To be fair, I was always more into like soft and kind of like, gelatinous textures in general. I need things to be like slightly chewy in general. How could this happen to my dear Papai, who was once so kind? It is not done for a princess to suspect that her father is no longer her father, but I mean, although I wish I could be a princess. But this is also a bit incorrect with the soft part. It is more squishy, slimy texture. That isn't marshmallow. Oh, that isn't. Marshmallows are satisfying. I see. Yeah, I see. So like things like, you know, imagine kind of like, I want to like find a texture that is kind of like squishy, slimy, but not too much. And I was thinking, you know, leeks, but like not like, you know, minced to thinly, but like chunks of like leeks that have been like melting a little bit, but like it's slightly soft. Is it like something that you would enjoy or not? Like something, for example, like wilted greens, like spinach, for example. Is this like you, or could you eat that? Something is wrong with the roof. Interesting. Kusel. Too bad. I can see eating unless it is in a gelatin-like texture. Okay, so it's really, really like, you know, the gelatinous thing. So like mushroom would be like a no-no in general. Unless it's like cooked in a certain way that like... I mean... yeah, mushroom is complicated, I guess. Like the way I cook mushrooms most of the time nowadays is like boiling them so that they absorb like all the water, and when it's done and they cannot like absorb more liquid, I fry them in some oils. So you have a very juicy mushroom, but I guess because it retains so much juice, it has like that slimy texture. I don't know. I mean, I'm always of the opinion that when we cook, we should... interesting, by the way. Like the next boss will be interesting because, you know... you have any texture you absolutely cannot stomach? I don't think so. Like I'm a very, very open eater in general. Like I've always enjoyed eating, you know, weird things. And things that are very new to me. So... do we want to go there? Where is it going? So I don't think there's like any texture I would be like put off by. Probably more like a question of taste, maybe. But texture, no. Since Ellie isn't chatting at the moment, how much natural toxins do you ingest with your mushrooms? I mean, I'm not like Ellie. I don't, you know, eat weird and dangerous mushrooms. So probably like some. But I'm still alive, which is, you know, the most important thing. Interesting. So we just want to talk to the king now, Desho. Do we want to go downstairs? Did we go downstairs? I don't know. No, okay. I think we talked about some foods at one point where you won't enjoy them as much if the eating process is tough. Like me personally, or like in general? like, I think it's kind of the thing with durian. We talked about durian, right? So it's like, obviously, if it's a struggle just to eat, you won't appreciate it too much. And I think it's in general like one thing that people don't really understand about like eating is that it's not just the taste, it's like the entire experience. It's also like how it smells, how it looks, and and also like the touch. Oranges. Oh yeah. But not really because of like the texture, right? Because it's just like a bit annoying to eat, I think. You have to peel the orange, and then like when you split it open, it's not like a mandarin or something like that. You have to remove a lot of things. Like I think that for an orange, when I'm eating an orange, I need to have like a knife with me to be able to cut like things in like proper chunks. And also because I think that oranges, like one orange, it's slightly too much for me. When I'm eating like those type of fruits, it would be like one or two mandarins. But like one orange is slightly too much, I think. I can eat it if I have someone with me, because we can split the orange in two, and I think it's like the good amount. But yeah, one entire orange, not really. Exception if it's a bloody orange, because I think it tastes very, very good with like the bitterness. This is like really something that I enjoy. So I could eat like a bloody orange by myself. I love apple seeds. I mean, unless you eat, 1 kilo of apple seeds, you should probably be alright, I think. But yeah, there are some things that I don't enjoy like eating. For example, like I'm not too deep into. I know some of people around me like are very into like seafood, more like lobsters and things like that. And it's not that I do not enjoy it. Is that the process of eating is so like annoying for me, having to break the shell and things like that to be able to eat, that I'm like it's not worth my time. Just give me like some fish and we'll be done with it. Gonna need that friend who prepares food for you. To be fair, I am kind of like this type of person. It's like, oh, I want an apple, and I'm like, I can cut you an apple, and it's like I'm making very nice slices that are easy to eat. I love doing that. But that's kind of ties to my point of like, I'm not like beginning the cutscene because we're yapping, but of like the process is like seafood when it's like pre-prepped, really for you in the sense that like pre-prepped is like an oxymoron. Obviously, like it's pre-prepped. If it's not prepped for you, like the shell has not been broken in the kitchen, I want to be Princess Miyabi Hime. I will like, oh no, it's too much. But I do enjoy like seafood. If it's like, I'm kind of like this Asian school of like cooking where you shouldn't have to cut things. Things should in general come in a way such as you can bite, or you can just like take one piece without having to use a knife. If I do have to use a knife, or if I have to use my hands to break something, I will prefer to eat something else. Not by, the taste of the food, just because the process, as you say, is like a bit tough. Which is also kind of like why I really don't like eating with my hands. I really don't like the feeling of having, food and grease on my hands, because you cannot like wash them until you're over with them. This whole exception is that if the culture is incentivizing you to like eat with your hands from start to finish, okay, I will. Because I don't have like to touch like, cutlery with my dirty hands if I'm always eating with my hands. Typically, Indian cuisine, for example, or like in general, Middle Eastern cuisine. But yeah, having like dirty hands, I can't. Seafood is the best, even if it gets a bit boring and messy. I love fish. I really, really, really love fish, but do you make things bite-sized before eating, or do you cut pieces as you go? It depends of the cuisine, to be honest. If I'm cooking like European, Western, probably I will cut pieces as I go. If I'm cooking Asian, I'm probably like pre-cutting, but also this will be done in the kitchen so that everybody should have like pre-cut things. But in general, I think I would like cut as I go. Just because, you know, there are a lot of people when they have like a fork and no, wait, I need to refine my answer. If you have like three things, if you have like knife, spoon and fork, I will cut everything to get rid of the knife immediately. But if it's just knife and fork, I will like cut as I go because, and that's why I continue, a lot of people are swapping, you know, their knife and fork every time they want to cut things. Like they will cut with a knife in the right hand, but they also want the fork in the right hand when they are like kind of spooning things. And so they will do like those swaps every often. I do not. I cut with the knife in my left. And because of that, I don't mind cutting as I go. If you see what I mean. I don't know what I'm talking about. Say no to seafood, say yes to sea friends. +2 probably. I don't have anything to say. But yeah, I like seafood, I like fish. I talked about how I reduced my meat consumption, and I kind of like changed that to like half of it was like vegetarian options and half of it is like seafood. Just use the fork in the left hand. I cannot do that with, I think like I can't spoon things with like the fork in my left. Isn't fork supposed to go on the left hand anyhow? I mean, it's very interesting because like for me, fork is cursed. By default, fork is cursed. Because I guess that, okay, if you eat pasta, you have like spoon and fork, right? So that makes sense that like the fork is in your right. Because you get your spoon in the left to be able to kind of use it as a support. But I don't know, it's just, for me, like fork is like the most useless thing of all time. I just don't understand the utility of fork. Like, why would you use a fork when you can use like a spoon? And I've always seen like fork as like a lesser spoon, and that's why like it's on the right. Because you use it for spooning. So I don't know, I don't understand. But why would you stab things? Why would you stab things? Why would you ever stab things in like while eating? Grrr, how you get in here? King? No, like, look of you. I shouldn't dub that because it's kind of slightly racist, but it's not racist, it's basically a demon, but meat, why wouldn't you stab things? But I'm using like chopsticks. I'm using chopsticks. So I don't need to stab. I lift gently. The perfect Asian etiquette. Never stab thing, never stab food. But that's kind of like my issue, right? Is that I don't understand like... Okay, so we're in prison, but like unfortunately we have like literally the key of the prison, so... Hello. mini medal. A wandering minstrel. Minstrel. The noble Simao who many did cherish to the north and the east of Ferromaria. We saw that like a bit before. I see knife and chopsticks, but not knife, right? Because like, it should be pre-cut. That's why like in Asian cuisine, it's pre-cut because you can always use chopsticks and just like big spoons. Which is, by the way, the spoon in the West absolutely cooked compared to the big Asian spoons. Especially do not stab the rice bowl and leave the stick sticking straight. I mean, in general, like, I know that obviously, like, you shouldn't do that. Like, it's really, really bad. But, like, in general, you shouldn't stab anything with, like, your chopsticks. I mean, if you want to do it, do it. I mean, just stabbing things, like, not like, you know, putting, like, vertical in the rice bowl, this is absolutely cooked. But, like, stabbing things, some people do it. I think it's still bad etiquette. But I guess you can get away. I don't want to make rules like, oh, you cannot like use chopsticks in this particular fashion. Like if it's the way you're using it, just use it that way. But I'm kind of a crazy person because like I judge people depending on how they hold their cutlery or their chopsticks. Even meat or hold and tear with your mouth is not fully bite-sized. Yeah. But like, I don't know. If you're Asian, that's like this is crazy Miyabi. This is crazy Miyabi. If you're Asian and the way like you are holding your chopsticks is like absolutely messy, I will be thinking like, what a disgrace, and probably I will have to restrain myself from like rolling my eyes. Like I really do think that, and again, this is not a good thing, but I really do believe that like the way you hold your chopsticks say a lot about like your behavior and the way you have been like, you know, raised and like the education that you had. And I will be like, this is not a good look. This is not a good look. I will give like Westerners a pass just because it is not like your culture. When you see me use chopsticks, please roll your eyes anyways. I mean, if you enjoy seeing that, like I could, but like, I give a pass to Westerners, basically. Well, this is the true king. I've probably eaten with chopsticks like under 50 times, well, basically in Asian restaurants, right? I mean, I don't think that this is a required skill to get in the West. But I will like appreciate a lot Westerners that know how to handle like chopsticks. If you are, as a Westerner, if you have like a very good chopstick hold, I will be like, very good. Very good. You make us proud. Mostly when I was in Japan, yeah, true. Like, you have been in Japan, like, do we agree that like the spoons, like the big spoons, like for soup, are just like the best, and we should have the same thing in like, you know, the West? I have some, obviously, but like every time you have a soup, you should have like a big spoon like this. I'll have to study. If you want to make me proud, you know, it's like you don't have to. That thing stole from me my phone. Please put a stop to that accursed imposter. The cave southeast. You must obtain the mirror within. Are we pushing the stream? I mean, we are yapping. I have fun yapping, so we could probably. We could by the way. Do you have like something in your cell? No. They hold so exactly. They hold so well. These sticky ways. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that there are some table manners. It's not like a hard requirement. It's not like, oh, you need like to hold your things exactly like that. But it's like, it still shows like, you know, some sort of respect, you know? It's like you wouldn't put your foot on the table. It's kind of like that idea. There are things that, you know, show that you kind of respect your host. And this is good. I think the game is crushing. Absolutely peak. Oh, wait. No, we should have a save after like talking to the king, surely. I hate having to balance my soup until it reaches my mouth exactly. And when you have like those big spoon, oh my god. It's so easy. It's actually so easy to eat. By the way, you see that it's compiling shaders. This is, I shouldn't show you that, but whatever. And I have like messages on Discord, but like how I'll answer to that like later. Yeah, and you know, there are things where I'm like, I have mixed feelings basically. Do I think that drinking the soup, like the broth of the soup straight from like the bowl is bad? It really depends the way you're doing it, I think. I still believe that it's a little bit insane. But at the same time, this is just so practical. So like, I understand like people doing it, they show. And I do it also myself. I think they like when you slurp in Japan. I think it's not exactly about like the slurp, because like they do like in Asia you need to make some noise. You need to make some amount of noise when you're eating. Like, and I know it's very funny because when you spend time with like Westerners, we are taught to not slurp, right? You shouldn't make noise with your mouth when you eat. And then they learn that, oh no, when you're like with Asian people and in Asia, you should slurp. And it's like, oh, you have never learned to do that. And it shows. It basically shows that you can't slurp. Because it's not that easy, to be fair. Some of my Japanese buddies commented on me being so silent when eating ramen. Yeah, exactly, because you should like slurp like to some extent. And this is something that you really need to train to if you're not used to do that. I just did some quick research and I don't think the way I hold my chopsticks would warrant an eye roll. I mean, you should send me a picture of how if you have like chopsticks, you know, at your place, you should show me like how you like, send me a picture of how you hold chopsticks and I will give you my opinion. Let's do like chopstick hold reviews on Miyabi's channel. We can stream when right now. Just send me like send me in my DMs like a picture of you holding chopsticks, and I'll rate them. Okay, so we are basically like outside of this accursed castle. So now we could... Maybe we can do the dungeon. Maybe we can finish the orbs today. That would be good. No, that would be like kind of peak, to be honest. We are healed at this show, by the way. By the way, we are. We're very close to a level up with Sigrid also. This is very good. So yeah, let's just continue a little bit while we are chatting. I don't think I have any on hand. You don't have like anything that you could like substitute like to substitute like chopsticks, like, you know, thin pencils or pens. So we want to go to the southeast, like it was a big thing on the map. So let's explore a little bit. We can surely explore by following the mountain range. If you're sending me a thing, because like I'm saying that as a joke, but if you're really doing it, tell me when you did, send me a DM so I can like actually open my Discord account. This seems like it would be a funny bit. It's always a funny bit. Interesting. The enemy is stunned. This was maybe not necessary, but I'll take it. Level 27. Very good. 8 points in luck. That much in HP, this is a crazy level up. You should not let her cook. She's cooking too hard. Okay, so we can like follow the, well, still taking damage from that, but doesn't really matter. I think it's like, you know, judging chopstick hold, that's how like the generation like a bit older than us, like, it's like, you don't have like a good chopstick hold, I don't think you'll marry my daughter, you know? I've sent you a DM, okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Like, very good. Actually approved. Actually, I wouldn't be embarrassed in a Chinese restaurant with you. It's the way you hold it. Like it gives you stability. It gives you like flexibility with the upper chopstick. I have like nothing to say about that. It's textbook, very good. Where did you learn to? Who taught you to hold your chopsticks like that? Was it like the self-evident way of holding chopstick for you, or did someone teach you that like it's the way to hold like chopsticks? Well, basically done. We can just cross here, they show. I was taught that from my grandparents who lived in Southeast Asia for a while. Okay, so that exactly. Okay, that's why. Basically, like almost like first-hand experience. Because for some reason, and I cannot really understand why, people do not go to that position like instinctively when they try to hold chopsticks for the first time. Concrete music, concrete music, concrete music. Is the cave here or is the cave? Oh, I see. What is our health situation? We are taking literally no damage from the poison. But yeah, I think like I would be very happy to it. Okay, you send one. Let me go on my Discord account. It's so annoying. I really hate having to change accounts. You know what? Pretty good. You have a very similar, very similar hold, and I like it. I think it's also very interesting how you're very close, right, to like the tip of the chopstick, of the chopsticks. It depends on the contrary, to be honest, like some countries will hold their chopsticks like closer to the tip, and some other countries you will like hold further away, especially because like chopsticks are not the same length in every country. Like in China and Southeast Asia, you will have like longer chopsticks, so you will hold them like a bit further away. But this is like a very good hold as well. So who taught you that? Like, did you learn that in Japan with Japanese people, or was it something that you already did when you were like in Europe? But like also, again, very, very good. I have like nothing to say about that. I will say very nice nails. +2 on that. Depends what you eat. I see. This is kind of a cursed like thing. I'm expecting some treasure to be like full north, but friend, and then I had to practice more in Japan. I see. I mean, okay, you have like a very similar background, let's say, in learning. The bakagaitin. I mean, it's kind of like the thing in like, you know, okay, maybe it's me being judgmental, but you are like in the West in an Asian restaurant and you ask for like, you know, a spoon, like fork, knife, whatever. I get it. You go to an Asian restaurant, it's maybe not something that you go very often to. So I think it's okay to like ask for Western cultural, even if you're like eating, you know, pho or ramen or whatever. I think it's okay. But I would say, and thank you for the nails. It's you have very good nails, so I'm just telling the truth. But if you're going to like an Asian country and you're like, oh no, I will never learn how to eat with like chopsticks or whatever, and I will always like rely on Western cutlery, what are you doing? I think like you would indeed be like the bakagaitin, I think. Because you're literally like in an environment that is not yours, like your natural cultural environment, and it mostly means that like you're not making an effort to eat properly, or not to eat properly, but like to adjust to the culture, to the local culture. And it's like, what's the point of like traveling then? If you see what I mean. But am I crazy for that take? I don't know. I swear that would get me so embarrassed. I would rather not show up than refuse to even learn. I do agree with that. Like, I don't understand. Like, sometimes you hear stories about people that are not trying to do like any effort. And it's like, it just tells a lot about you, no? Like, I don't know. You're literally traveling into a country, right? You're spending money to get there. And it's just like a straight no, I do not want to do like those things. I mean, it just looks like a bit I don't know what like word I would use to qualify to like explain that, but it's not even like disrespect, because it is not, I think. It's just a waste of an opportunity, right? I don't think you should be ashamed for that, but it also tells like a little bit about your character, about, oh no, I'm just not curious. I just don't want to engage. So yeah, not disrespect, but it tells more about you than like, you know, anything else. Ignorance, maybe some amount of ignorance. I just don't know why you would spend like so much money. We're struggling a little bit here. Let me like mid-heal Kali. I don't know. I don't know. I know people do what they want to do at the end of the day. I'm not doing the I don't want to be the police of whatever, but it just baffles me a little bit. Like I don't understand why you would be like so against learning something new. But what do I know? I don't know. Wait, we have 1 million chests, and you know what that means. I don't know. Do we want to play the Mimic game or not? We could. Okay, let's play the Mimic game. It gives XP. Why not? Okay. Some things are not illegal, but they can still be wrong. I do agree. Oh, Twack is crazy because like we might die just from like but that was okay. That's the annoying thing, is that someone could die here and it's putting us like in a weird situation. And it's not even worth it XP wise. Do I really want to play that game? Though sometimes the feeling of accidentally doing something very wrong makes me more afraid to try. So it can be a slippery slope. But what would be like very wrong? I mean, like you talked about like sticking your chopsticks vertically into a bowl of rice, right? So that is fucked up. There's no other words for it. If you have been like, because I think it's kind of like, it might be understood as like, oh, you did like voluntarily. But I would say, if you didn't know about it, and you do it for some reason, whatever, and I see that, I would just tell you, you know, like, this can be like understood as very rude. But like, this is like very wrong. But at the same time, if you don't know, you don't know. You just don't know. Like, it's like, there's nothing I can say about, you know, about that. Exactly. It's like, if you're wrong a second time, it becomes like, it is fucked up. Because you have been told that this is not good and you're doing it again. But I don't mind. I think like, for me, being afraid of that is probably because a lot of people have been like, you know, writing articles on the internet and whatever, where it's basically told that, oh no, if you do that, you're the worst person of all time. And it's like, really no. Like, you can do mistakes. I think it's all right. Oh wait, this is like very good. Why do we have like the fizzle? Oh, because we don't want her spells to be sealed, and we say that like the 4 points of defense are worth it, or not worth it compared to okay. But yeah, like you do mistake. Like, there are obviously like customs that you will not have, and there's always this thing where when you know that the person is not familiar with that culture or whatever, you will be lenient. Because there's so many, things in table etiquette that if we start to make a list of everything you should not do at a table, for every culture, we would never be done. And there's always this thing where more often than not, when you assess the behavior of someone when it comes to like etiquette, social etiquette, it's not about like, oh, are they making like a big mistake? It's like, do they overall have a behavior that is respectful, even if they do mistakes? Me, when I sat down in the hall because my legs were giving up and having a mall guard tell me off, and I never sat if there's no chair, but Tokyo has no chair. I mean, this is like you're not wrong to do that. It's like Japan is crazy. Japan is a crazy country. Like to the point you should come with your own chair, like foldable chair, and just sit down in there. But short stream, by the way. I mean, we are yapping. That's your fault. If you want a short stream, never talk in the chat. And oh my god, literally killed immediately. And then we can do like a short stream. But if you yap with me, I'm very happy to yap, Those mimics are very annoying. There's not much we can do, to be fair. It's just like a matter of, praying that we don't die to... The thing is, you should show no mercy. Because I'll take care of the healing and the raising, but we don't raise here in this house. We just kill and we'll raise afterwards. Okay. I take responsibility always. I mean, also it's like, if you have fun, I'm having fun, It's like, I can feel like the heat is a bit crazy. I'm starting to sweat like a lot. So I'll have a shower immediately, but I don't know. I think, I enjoy being with you. I'm so busy in my life, in general. And streaming is kind of a break from, all the things that I have to do, and that's why, there are so many things I want to do. I want to hang out more with people, especially when it comes to streaming. I want to hang out on more streams, but it's like I don't have the time. I just don't have the time, which is kind of like acting against me because I'm not raiding people 2 whack in a row. And it's a very slow growth, but it's just like I have so many things to do. But I do enjoy talking with you. I think we always have very interesting conversations. I think that you're all extremely, interesting people. Be it on my chat or on, your stream, for example, May. Every time, oh yeah, I want to do a short stream. But if I have fun making a long stream, then we're good as well. This is not good. We will be running out of MP at some point with Sigrid, to be fair, because she's so aggressive with her big attack. It does a lot of damage, to be fair, but... Yeah, we just don't have a lot of good options against Iron Mask, against those mimics. So what am I saying to do? No, what I'm saying is basically I appreciate you a lot. Nobody will be able to wear that, the show. So it doesn't matter. Mimic. Sigi mana burns mold. Yeah. I think that we have been hoarding consumables for such a long time. You will probably... Oh my god. You will probably get your elixir at some point to get back into full... Oh my god. Is this a wipe? I mean... You have Zing, right? You were... Yeah. Oh my god. And because this is not a 100% raise, so like we are like expending a lot of resources into that. Okay, we need to give... How close are you from your level up? Not close at all. So we need to give you some thing so you can get like some MP back. Sage elixir. It's not full. It's not full MP. Just use the prayer ring, probably. Oh, you're getting a lot of... Okay, but it's breaking. It was breaking, like, very early. Okay, Sigrid is back. To be fair, it's the only spell that is really working on people, so she should continue to strike fast. And maybe I should use MP for Miyabi to do like a lightning strike. No, it's doing 0 damage. Literally cooked. I love it. It's so fun. What were they thinking? Okay, I guess we can continue to explore like and open chests, but who are you? Literally flew. Okay, let's continue south. Hopefully we don't have like too many mimics here. Trust. Kali will soon have a level up, so she can be aggressive with magic. Sigrid loves this, you know, very hard power hit. Don't let Sigrid cook. She is a bit too crazy. I mean, we're level upping. This is not loss. This is very good. This is very good. She's also level... Okay, she's a bit... I wish like Kali was level 30, but alas. There's not much we can do about that. Actually, a mimic, I love it. Yeah, I don't know. Never let me cook. I mean, sometimes when do we have like a cooking stream, not a cooking stream, but like a cooking activity in the static? When are we doing like, not, you know, Master Chef, because the point is not, oh my god. The point is not to have a competition, but we should cook together at some point. Cute mimics. I don't know. Do I have fun right now? Unclear. Oh my god. The worst RNG of all time. And Sigrid is already like MP negative. I would love to when I have my own kitchen. Like everyone makes the same thing, or yeah, something like that. Or you know, just like a theme, a broad theme, but like you can like, or just one ingredient. And that anyone can come with their own Recipe. This is actually a mimic. Who would have thought? But yeah, not having one owns kitchen, this is complicated. I don't know what that is. Oh my god. I think Sigrid and May are doing alright because they have like great resistance or wisdom or whatever. I don't know. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, I'll try to raise. It's actually crazy. What was it? Sage Elixir. Okay, use it here. Can you do that? No, it will be only on yourself, sure. So I need to use the spell myself. Zing. Okay. I've been living here for 5 years, sharing kitchen with... I couldn't, to be fair, I couldn't. Like, not having my own kitchen, not being able to cook the way I want at the time, at the perfect time, like, it's just... It would just be impossible. So I can, like... I empathize a lot, is what I mean. Oh my god. This is the worst enemy. I don't mind like having a mimic that does like a lot of damage. But the thwack is insane. And Cam seems so fun, but they also have many risks. I don't think you have like too much risk. Too many risks. Like... I don't know. You can do, I mean... Obviously the point of, like you say, oh my god, I forgot about the MP situation. You talked about handcam, so I guess it's really for handcam activities, but like if you do cooking, you can cook without like the camera, and you can just like put... It's horrible. Why are we doing this? And you can just put like pictures, you can take pictures of like the dish at like regular intervals, but I don't know. I don't think like you have too much risk about like showing your hand. Most of the time it's like the same thing as like showing anything on camera. It's just that you want to be aware of any light reflections that can show yourself. But probably you're alright. All of that for that, it's absolutely crazy. I had like so much fun. Not true. There's a hole, by the way, but I don't think we want to go there. By the way, do we have like a bus here? If we have a bus, unclear. We would probably want to go to the west here because it's further away from all the interesting things. I don't know. I'll do a cooking stream. If I can't do a cooking stream because I don't have the setup too, it will be with just taking pictures, I think. You would have to hide your cat so she doesn't knock a camera plus two, to be fair. Or you do that on your phone, but like streaming on your phone, I think it's a bit insane though. Like you need a really good phone probably. to be able to, especially if you want like to have your model at the same time. I don't know. A cat suit, another one, but we are not equipping it, right? Because we don't want to look like cats. We'll just go through the inner route and we should be able to see if there's any chest. I think you just send the footage in through an app instead of directly streaming from the phone. Oh, I mean, probably, but also like I was thinking about, I think Nerissa from Hololive did a stream at some point where she was like walking outside, and you have like to stream from your phone, Desho. Oh, that's why you want to use the hole. But is there something in here or not? There's literally nothing. But I guess so if you send the footage. Yeah, true. True. But I'll see, maybe we'll do like just, I don't know, even if it's just like sending the audio, you still need to do something. To be fair, probably I would need like a laptop to be able to do that. Because you also want, or at least a tablet, because you also want to read a chat at the same time, but if you're cooking, you need that to be like in the kitchen and so on. And I have a laptop, but it's almost unusable right now. So yeah, a lot of things I need to think about. It's hard being a streamer. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, it is some work, but it's a lot of setup, of backstage things that people do not see. Sigrid did get her level up, by the way. She is so back with burning mana. We should probably put her in fight wisely instead of like show no mercy, but... No different things. I still think I'm in this weird position where I don't like commit entirely to streaming. And I'm not devoting as much time as I would like for me to really make some good strides. But I don't know, it's okay. Cooking in your room or moving PC to kitchen is something I've seen. Moving PC in the kitchen is a bit crazy, but why not? Cooking in my room, I mean, if you have like those, you know, portable stove or things like that, I guess it's possible. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It will come. Like, we already have like a lot of projects, I think. So okay, so what we can do right now, because we can do the boss fight perhaps. What time is it? It's late. We can't do the boss fight. We'll do the boss fight next time. Okay, so we'll just go to an inn and rest there. I'll just chat a little bit to finish our conversation, and then I'll go. Let me go to... Where is it? Am I blind or blind? Manosa. Always save those PC upgrade parts, so eventually there is to PC. I do agree. I do think so. The problem is that like I did like an upgrade of my graphical card, of my GPU at some point. The problem is that the upgrade was necessary because my previous card just exploded. It just fried, so it's unusable. And could probably save my motherboard and my CPU from my current build when I'll do the change, but the thing is, the change is really not soon, because most of like my expenses right now will be like going towards like my 2.0, right? So it's this weird situation where there's a lot of purchases to do to be able like to upgrade the stream. We're like in a situation where we can stream without too many problems. But if I want to go like a bit further, yeah, the costs are like ramping up pretty quickly. But you know, this is like a false concern because we're not pressed by time. We can like take our time. I think it's good. So yeah, piano. At some point we should do a piano stream. Maybe, I don't know, if next week we do 2 episodes of like Trials and of Innocence, the week after we do like, maybe we can do like a stream with less gaming. Maybe like in 2 weeks it's like Mooming and piano, and we just like play one game, and that's it. Yeah, okay. Very good. We'll stop there, thank you. So thank you very much for coming today. I think we have been yapping a lot, much more than I expected. It was supposed to be a short stream. It has been 3 hours and a half, so obviously never trust Miyabi. She doesn't know what she's talking about. For the very good stream, thanks to you all. For the program of the next days, on Wednesday we're playing Ziel. I think it's a German game or whatever. It's a short game. It's 2 hours, so probably it will be a short stream unless you force me to yap for like 2 more hours. But this is a short, like, sort of horror adjacent game. Indie game made on RPG Maker, so it will be interesting. And on Friday we will have a long stream because it's the end of the heat wave and I want to finish the second case of Trials of Innocence, so we'll be there for like 4 hours, something like that. Anyway, let me check if someone is streaming. It's so annoying. I should hang out more in people's chat because I just don't know if I want to raid them, because I don't know if, you know, they fit the vibe. I can send you to Rosa, I guess. The problem with Rosa is that we stream at the same time and it's always like a bit weird. But let me send you to Rosa. Thank you very much for today, and I'll see you next time.